Good morning, students. As I've told you earlier in the earlier classes that I will deal micro as well as the macromolecules simultaneously. So I have started with the amino acids. Amino acid is a micromolecule, that is your acid soluble part, which are the monomers, and they form the polymers by binding with the another amino acid. So I have dealt with your micromolecule. Now I am going to deal with the macromolecules. The macromolecules, that is your proteins. Amino acids macromolecule is a protein. So proteins are the polypeptide chains. Okay, these are the polypeptide chains. They can be the heteropolymers or they can be homopolymers. Heteropolymers are those polymers which are being made by the similar type of amino acid. For example, glycine binds with another glycine, binds with another glycine, and binds with another glycine. It is your similar amino acids are forming one particular chain. So that is known as your homopolymer or the homopolypeptides. Next you have the heteropolypeptides. In heteropolypeptides you have different amino acids bind together to form the polypeptide chain. Polypeptide chain is nothing but a linear chain structure which is being formed with the help of peptide bond. Now what is the peptide bond? How the peptide bond is formed? Peptide bond is formed by the condensation reaction. Condensation means that is a loss of water molecule. How the loss of water molecule takes place between these two? The reaction takes place, as you know. Now see student, the reaction takes place between, I have already told you, COOH NH2 plus COOH NH2 HH functional group. So this is your one amino acid and this is your another amino acid with a different functional group. So the reaction takes place between the carboxylic group of one amino acid and amino group of the another amino acid. These two undergo condensation reaction by removal of water molecule and they form the bond called C double bond O NH. So this C double bond O NH is your peptide bond. Okay, so this peptide bond is formed due to the condensation reaction, okay, where the water is being lost and the bond will form your CONH bond, and it is also called amide bond, AMIDE, amide, or you call it as a peptide bond. It is very important one, peptide bond or the amide bond. If two amino acids are being binding together, they form a single peptide. If there are three amino acids, then the dipeptide. If more, polypeptides. Okay, so these are the different types of peptide bonds which are being formed. Now when you talk about the peptide bonds or the structure of proteins, now based on the type of bond which is formed between the amino acids, they form the different shapes and structures. So based on the different shape and structure, the proteins are being classified into different structures or different ways, that is our primary proteins, secondary protein, tertiary protein and the quaternary protein. What are all these? Primary, secondary, tertiary and the quaternary. Now we are going to deal how these primary proteins will form the secondary, then form the tertiary and then form the quaternary, which is very important. Now when you talk about the primary proteins are being made up of peptide bonds. Okay, the peptide bond which is being formed due to the C double bond O NH bond, the bond which takes place between the carboxylic group and the amino group. As we all know, when you talk about the primary structure of protein, the primary structure of protein is being formed due to the single chain of amino acids. That is, it can be either the homopolysaccharide or can be the heteropolysaccharides. Is it clear to everyone? Okay, now I am going to deal with the secondary structure. The secondary structure of protein, in addition to your polypeptide chain, that is your linear chain of protein or linear chain of amino acid, there are some other bonds formed between the different groups of your amino acids and they form the peptide bond. That is your secondary structure. So in the secondary structure, what happened? Instead, in addition to your linear polypeptide, there are another bonds which form this structure called your hydrogen bonds or the van der Waals forces to form the folded structure, and that can be your alpha helix or can be your beta plated sheet. Is it clear? So how this is your alpha helix or the beta plated sheet. The helix is being stabilized by the hydrogen bond. I repeat, the helix structure. Now see, what is the helix structure? The secondary structure. This is known as your helix structure. Okay, polypeptide, this is your polypeptide structure, linear chain. This is your helix structure, and this is your beta plated sheet structure. Now I am going to deal with the how the beta plated sheet and how the secondary helix structure is being formed. Now this helical structure or the helix is being stabilized by the hydrogen bonds between oxygen of carboxylic group, that is your CO group of one amino acid residue, and the amino group of the next fourth amino acid residue. Now understood? That is carboxylic group of one amino residue and the amino group of the fourth amino acid residue, so that they can form a helical structure, which is very important. Example is your keratin, the hair protein, myosin, tropomyosin, that is your muscles protein, epidermin, skin protein, fibrin, blood clotting proteins. Okay, so your fibrin, your keratin, your epidermin, your myosin, or your tropomyosin, all these are your secondary alpha helical structures. Is it clear? Then you have the beta pleated sheet. In beta pleated sheet, again the chains are being connected by the hydrogen bond. This is your beta pleated sheet. Then you have a triple helix structures, where the three polypeptide chains are linked to form the triple helix, or that is a collagen protein. Then you have a tertiary structure, where long proteins are folded upon themselves to give rise to 3D structure. This is known as your tertiary structure. The 3D structure, that is a globular proteins. The globular proteins are generally present in your immune system, that is your B cells, that is your immunity or the antibodies. Then you have a quaternary structure. In addition to the tertiary structure, they are being made up of more than one subunit. Hemoglobin is made up of 4 subunits, alpha, alpha 1, beta, beta 1. Now, these subunits are attached to each other to give rise to your quaternary structure. This is about your quaternary structure. Then we deal about the function of proteins. Proteins can be used as a transport protein, it can be used as a collagen protein, it can be used as an antibodies, it can be used as a hormones, it can be used in an enzyme. Hormones, as we all know about the insulin, is an easiest example. Antibodies can be GABA globulins or the immunoglobulins. Collagen ground intracellular spaces which are present in the intercellular spaces. Transports, that is the molecule which are responsible for transporting the molecule from one cell to the another or from outside to the inside cell. Enzyme, example trypsin, pepsin, all these are protein enzymes which are responsible for breaking down of your protein molecules into amino acid or the dipeptide or the tripeptides.